For life.
Yeah. Bullet cast. What's going on? Stacy. This elite podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart. No time we move with a part. We on the radio, it's wrestling.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah. I am joined by Brandon Tanguma, Mr. Bulletcast in the Bank, along with our champion, our podcast champion, Marlee from the High Wrestling Podcast. How's it going, guys?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Chilling.
Fantastic.
Ready to sing a whole bunch of Luther Vandross songs?
Pulling off the Luther Fatu vibes.
If only for one night.
Yeah, we don't do video anymore. Used to. Don't do that anymore. But Phillip is looking quite dapper right now with his little collared shirt on.
I
Yeah,
am.
no,
I
he's very dressed up.
might just release the video so you people can see it. I think I'm going to do that. I don't know.
You dressed up for the occasion.
In my dark ass room with my white hoodie on.
I know. An eggshell white hoodie.
Positive vibes.
Ooh, positive vibes. All right, guys. Anton Voorhees, the interview's finally dropped, guys. What'd you think, Marlee?
It was awesome. I thought it was cool because that's exactly how Anton is, like interviewing in person, because I've had him on my show before too, and just like knowing him and running into him after shows and whatnot, it was good. It was nice to know a little bit more about him than what I learned when I interviewed him.
Beautiful interview. Everybody go check it out, whether it's on the YouTube or here on the podcast feed. Thank you, Phillip, for asking the hot tub time machine question. I appreciate it. We don't get it every time, but we got it this time. That's all that matters.
You have to make it mean something.
Exactly, like a DDT.
Yeah, or like when Taker didn't do old school every night. But you have to make it mean something. Yeah.
Amen, brother.
All right, SmackDown. Santos turns on Rey Mysterio, attacks him. He's had enough. He's fed up. I like this.
It's definitely building for a while. There were seeds being planted, and then dropping the brass knuckles had to be the icing on the cake. Like it was coming.
Yeah, I was critical on kind of just the visuals of what Santos did at Blood Money, but I thought they did a decent job kind of, talking themselves around there and, telling the story. And shout out Ray. He got like his 10th or 12th knee surgery the other day, so who knows? I haven't heard how major or how minor it is, so it looks like he is going to be gone for a little bit. T's and P's.
Yes. T's and P's. Brandon, go to the next topic while I take this phone call.
Well, Phillip, he has to handle so much business on and off the podcast, so he has to take another phone call. But we got Lashley defeating Carlito, two guys who are kind of synonymous with the era of, the Ruthless Aggression era, but yet I believe this was the first time ever we saw them clash. So, Marlee, what did you think of Lashley and Carlito? They continue to kind of build up the Hurt Business 3.0, whatever they're calling them. And, Carlito going back with Santos and the whole LWO stuff. So kind of two factions kind of, not combining, but clashing a little bit.
I think that they're planting seeds because, of course, at some point the bloodline storyline has to end. So they need a solid team on that caliber to kind of take that spot. And I feel like they're setting up LWO and this new iteration of the Hurt Business to kind of take that role. And I feel like it's being done perfectly. I sound repetitive, but it's just when it's a slow burn, I feel like it's perfect.
Agree. I mean, I think there might be some minor tweaks that I think the Lashley group could be doing, but I don't think they're done by any means. I think they're going to either continue to add people, maybe further develop their characters, and LWO. I mean, kind of with the characters they have right now, I don't know how much bigger they can really get unless they add like a Dragon Lee or something of that nature. But yeah, it was a good little stuff. Philip, are you still handling business? It seems like Philip is still handling business. We got
yes.
oh,
What are you talking about?
Lashley and Carlito.
First time ever matchup, surprisingly. Love it. Love to see it. Lashley got the dub as he should. Moving, giving momentum for him and his Street Profits group. Yeah, damage control grows. Are a Superwoman's faction? I mean, Asuka, Kyrie, Io, Dakota, Bailey. Now look. I know. We already have a War Games match. Can we do a traditional Survivor Series match with this one? Because Survivor Series, teams of 5 strive to stay alive.
I think you can, but we also know WWE, they like to do the one men's match and the one women's match that happened in NXT.
We didn't get one last year, so why don't we do this? That way you keep the essence of Survivor Series.
I feel like it would hit different in a 5-on-5.
Yes.
Because the old school elimination, that would add more to the story. At least
and we're a week out, and like I get it, like Bianca and Charlotte, and like there will be women kind of who have their issues with this new damage control, but it would feel kind of forced to kind of throw them in a War Games match. So if you throw them in a mix, a 10-on-10 or a 5-on-5 match, tag match, Survivor Series rules, I think that is perfectly fine.
Yeah, you got damage control. Then what do you have? Charlotte, Bianca, Shotzi. Find 2 other women, and boom, we're good.
Yeah, I don't think it was like enough story or enough build to warrant a full War Games match, but that'd be something that could be settled without the cage, without the war.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just the games.
Just the games.
Just the games. LA Knight, is not done with the bloodline. Still has problems. So I think this Friday we're getting Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight. Yeah.
The promo from LA Knight, there's things I liked, there's things I didn't like. I thought how he kind of handled the loss coming out of Crown Jewel, I thought it was good. Him talking about how, he acknowledged the cheating, but he also was talking about how he should have won and blah, 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 instead of like, John Cena or some other baby faces in the past where they just kind of brush it off or don't even like acknowledge what really happened the week before, and they just kind of get sidetracked like a dog and they go off and do their own thing. But on the other hand, when Grayson Waller came out, I thought his promo towards him was almost kind of MJF-ish, where like he has good delivery, but then like he just goes way over the top on kind of like the insults, and he thinks he's being funnier than he is, like the whole mother's basement and whatever the other low level jabs he was trying to get over.
Honestly, Grayson Waller did lose me in the promo. Like, I remember being invested while LA Knight was talking, and then after a certain point, I kind of just turned my attention elsewhere as Grayson was yapping on.
And I think this is kind of like where the real test for LA Knight is, because now he had that main event title match. Fans still love him, but now it's like, okay, you're not the top tier act going on right now. What are you going to do when you're in these mid card type of things with the Grayson Waller, Austin Theory? Looks like Kevin Owens might get involved as well. And just kind of see where his trajectory goes from there.
We shall see where the trajectory goes from there. Moving on. Yeah, I think we got a fan mail about LA Knight too. We'll read that in a second. Let me just go over to let's talk about PWG. We just go over to the Twitter to get the official statements. Marlee, you a fan of PWG?
I've like seen clips here and there. I've not like seen a full PWG event, but I've seen certain matches that happen at PWG. It's actually one of the things I wanted to go down and explore the rabbit hole of.
Yeah, it doesn't look. Well, rabbit hole, yes, but going in person doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that.
Absolutely
Who
not.
runs
I read the
PWG right?
news.
Who runs PWG right now? Super Dragon, right?
Super
Yeah, it
Dragon's
was Super Dragon.
still running
Yeah.
it.
He says, I know a lot of people have been wondering what is going on with PWG and why there haven't been many events this year. My girlfriend has been very sick and battling an aggressive cancer since earlier this year. It's been incredibly difficult for me to focus on anything else. Recently, things took a turn for the worse, and I need to take some time away from wrestling. There will be no more PWG events this year. We will return as soon as possible in 2024. Thank you for all the support. But then something came out, and I guess the Globe Theater is shutting down or something like that.
Yep, I read that this morning. I was confused when I saw everybody talking about like thanks for the memories, Globe Theater, and then I looked into it and it's like it's closing effective immediately, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Reseda, but you know, they
Yeah,
still did some cool things.
yeah, it was kind of like the next level for PWG. I mean, obviously, like the receipt of I forget exactly what kind of venue it was, like a community hall type thing. But after that closed down, they moved over to the theater, and that kind of took them into like COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out Super Dragon. Hopefully, things get better for his partner. And I mean, I do wonder what PWG looks like kind of coming out of post COVID, post AEW, where pre 2019, 2018, 7, from like 20 whatever 10 to 19, they were like super hot. They were the super indie, and then AEW kind of took all their talent, and the indie scene, like it's healthy. They're thriving. There's a lot of good shows out, but I just wonder like that very top level indie talent. I just don't know if we kind of have that right now because all the other major companies are kind of scooping everybody up.
I mean, in this latter year, the JAS was at PWG in the Globe Theater. Titus Russell, John Moxley. Some cool stuff has happened in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, PWG. I mean, you love it. You love to see it. Apparently, Vince McMahon is selling a third of his stock in TKO. What is
I
going?
mean, Philip, you keep saying, "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it." When Vince McMahon is out of power and not with the company anymore, and I mean, I think this is just another kind of validator that Ari Emanuel, said one thing to Vince's face about how he'll still be with the company and all that other good fun stuff, and then once the deal closed, he was like, "All right, old man, I don't think we need you anymore." And then now Triple H is in charge, and Vince is probably like kind of rightfully so, but also like it's Vince who really cares,
Whoa, whoa,
Uh,
whoa, 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 whoa.
it's Vince. He's done some things in the past that it's like, okay, you finally are getting your comeuppance a little bit, old man.
Whoa,
But
whoa, 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 whoa,
but
whoa.
I mean, selling a third of his stock, it's pretty big. Like it's a big deal. Like I know it's company stuff and business stuff, but it kind of does show something about how Vince is either how his feelings are on the company itself and where he is in the company itself.
Yeah, so let's see what the Vince McMahon looking to sell over 8 million shares of TKO Group holding stock. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
This is crazy. I mean, we've known Vince hasn't been in power. when they when they go to fight backstage on Raw and they go through Gorilla, he's not sitting in that chair. We know this. This is what we know. We know these things.
It's like water is wet at this point.
Right? Fire is hot. Like, come on, guys. We know this. Oh man. Sonny facing up to 25 years in prison, for that for killing someone. DUIs and
Yeah,
whatnot.
kids, don't drink and drive. It's not a good idea, and especially if you get caught drinking and driving once, don't do it again
And
and
again.
again and again.
Again.
And just, try
And again.
not to kill people in general.
Yes. Oh, Sonny, what a fall from grace, huh? At one point, the most downloaded person in the world.
Now she's a murderer.
Manslaughterer.
Manslaughterer.
Er, er,
Er.
er. Iron Claw, the movie has been getting great reviews. I've heard a lot of great things. I've heard there was a scene in the movie where you were just going to have to wipe your eyeballs. Your eyeballs sweat profusely. I mean, we know the Von Erich story.
Yeah.
great family. Then they have like the Kennedy curse of wrestling, and yeah. They say Zac Efron really gets the Kevin Von Erich'ness down because we've heard over the years Kevin Von Erich's an odd individual. Maybe him being odd is what saved him from the curse.
Very, very excited for this movie. It's coming out Christmas week, week before. I think it's like December 21st, something like that.
I think we should all go see this together.
I'm so down.
I'm excited. It's going to be as you said, it's getting great reviews. I kind of wonder how they're going to portray it. I almost kind of wish it's like a movie about a family that just happens to be in wrestling, not like a wrestling movie about a family. Well, because that's where the true story is. It's like the family dynamic and the tragedy, the fame, the power, all that other stuff.
I heard like it's really very good. Like the wrestling, like they're really wrestling. Like the clips of that are great, and I love the Von Erichs. WCCW and the Sportatorium in Dallas. It's my favorite territory. So I'm excited to see that. You get your Michael P.S. Hayes in the movie, and you got a guy doing Ric Flair. So this is going to be good stuff.
Could we be living in a world where MJF wins an Oscar before The Rock?
Wow.
I don't think he'll win it as an actor. Maybe like being a part of the production team or something like that, which would be wild.
Yeah, like one of those like best, not supporting actor, like one of the behind the scenes, best production or best cinematography type Oscars.
I mean he plays Lance Von Erich. I've heard he's very good. We'll see. Apparently Kurt Angle is getting a biopic in the works at some point next year. He said that on a recent podcast. I like it.
That'd be interesting because I recently was going down a rabbit hole and I didn't realize he was part of Team Foxcatcher. And I know that the Foxcatcher story, and I was like, oh.
Have you seen the movie?
I've not seen the movie, but I have like watched YouTube videos on the actual story itself. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by I was a shoot wrestler and all that other stuff, but yeah, watch that movie, huh?
No big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
no big deal.
Shoot or shoot.
Yeah, high school wrestling coach, no big deal.
Right. Shoot or shoot. But yeah, no, go watch the Foxcatcher movie. It's fantastic. I love it. It's very good. Yes, I mean, I would love to see that. Really, really do a deep dive into the Kurt Angle story. Talk about that his father died. Do the Foxcatcher stuff. The winning of the gold medal. Him getting into WWE. Maybe even have the ECW scene there. Then obviously going to the addiction and the triumph, and I think it'd be very, very good.
They have to recreate that spot from TNA where he jumps off the stage.
Oh yeah, woo! Yeah, we need the woo off in there. We need the woo off.
We just need a full 2-minute Perk Angle compilation thing going on in this biopic.
Why did you say that? Don't talk about my friend like that. You shook that man's hand. Are you gonna say this?
Hey, that man has a great handshake.
Did you watch the hand?
Still haven't watched it.
That was a few months ago, man. You might want to watch. That's nasty.
Just going full on Pearl.
It is kind of turning a different color now that I think about it.
All right. Fan mail, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
I'm tired of WWE trying to rewrite their history. How can they not credit Bob Backlund for how long his title reign was? I understand what they're doing with Roman, but just upsets me that they don't honor their history.
Amen, bro. That's what I was saying.
I feel like maybe Michael Cole made a mistake. I feel like he honestly made a mistake. But technically, he's right. So here, let's have a conversation. So, pull up when Bob Backlund wins the WWE title. It's what, 78, right? Or 77?
Hold on.
We just had this discussion. When does Bob Backlund win the title? It says he's
78.
It says he's champion from 78 to 83, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Iron Sheik beat him December 26, 1983.
Okay, so here's what happened. He wins the title on 178.
Yep.
So at some point, I think it was like 79, he wrestles Antonio Inoki and loses to Inoki. Because remember, back then, a guy could lose a title and then show back up with it, and people think he was still the champion, even though he had lost it. So he lost the title to Inoki. And they had a rematch. It was deemed a no contest. Inoki said he didn't want to win that way, so he vacated the championship. And then Bob Backlund went on to win it back from this guy named Bobby something. So then that happens, and then you fast forward to 1981. He has a match with Greg the Hammer Valentine, and it's also deemed a no contest, and the title is vacated. And then he has another match to regain it. So technically, Bob Backlund is the 3-time WWE champion. So that span of 4.5 to 5 years is not actually intact. So if we're talking about a consecutive title reign, technically what Michael Cole said was true. Because, back then, they only did advertise in certain markets, and WWE was a national company, even at that point in time. So, Bob Backlund can lose in New York, and people who saw stuff in like Texas or something would think Bob Backlund's still the champion, Yeah.
So on the Wikipedia, it has like the whole thing, and as you said, he loses to Inoki in Japan, and politics and stuff. It gets vacated, and then it's, as you said, the Greg Valentine match, and it's like it was recognized only in New York City by the State Athletic Commission.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just very confusing because back in the day, wrestling was with the commissions, and it was like a real sport, and
yeah,
it's a whole thing. And I understand like the whole confusion and how the whole thing, like, it was more just me kind of being petty and being annoying, but this does kind of illustrate the whole, like, especially the Bob Backlund stuff is just very confusing in this era of wrestling.
Yeah, it's like, they say Ric Flair's a 16-time world champion. It's really 20, like 21, 22. He had to leave the title overseas for a few times because if he had walked out with that title, he would have been killed.
Right.
It's just one of those. So what Michael Cole said is technically true. Let's not get our panties in a bunch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what happens in wrestling. Like, Ron Simmons is not the first black world champion. It's Bobo Brazil. But, here we are.
But then if we also want to be technical, Roman has only had the WWE Championship for
it's
certain.
It still has the universal lineage. That's why they call it the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
But then the Universal Championship didn't start until 2017, 2016, wherever the hell that was.
Okay, no, but it's the run. It's not the whole lineage of the championship.
I'm taking it up with the commission.
No,
bring back the
that's what they're arguing. They said, only people that stand in front of them for a consecutive run are Hogan and San Martino. People got upset because Bob Backlund, he was 4.5, 5 years. No, not really. Had the title for like a year, dropped it, then had another run for a couple years, dropped it, so yeah. That's where we are with that. Jack of all trades. If you guys could join any faction in history, what would it be and why? For me, I would love to be a member of the Four Horsemen, the suits, the style, and the antics of the 80s. I love it all. Well, I'm already the member of a faction,
This guy.
Where do I hail from, Marlee?
It's not a faction, it's a family.
He hails from the Isle of Samoa.
Yes. Do I start speaking Samoan? No, if I can be serious for a moment. Shout out Lance Storm. If I could really join there's the Nation, there's the Shield. I've always loved Evolution. That's my favorite faction. Main Event Mafia.
Main Event Mafia. Yep.
Main Event Mafia was kind of tight. I'm not gonna hold on. Main Event Mafia was kind of tight. There's another mafia I hear that's about to be even tighter.
The Melanin Mafia.
Oh, hey. No, but faction.
I would say D-Generation X.
I feel like that's exhausting to be in. Be tired.
True, but they did push the envelope and kind of like shape the Attitude Era into
True.
what it is today. I don't think about the Attitude Era and not, I don't know if that's going to sound right. I think about the Attitude Era and I think DX. Like they're just the main takeaway from the Attitude Era for
That's
me. Like
immediately
their
what your brain
impact.
goes to.
Exactly. The
Brandon wants
impact.
Brandon wants to join the corporate ministry.
I was gonna say right to censor.
Actually, no, he would fit in so well with right to censor.
Guys, can we calm down?
Like, I see
He
him at
would.
ringside while Ivory's retaining the women's championship. I see it. He's just cut off. I see it.
He would for sure rock in.
He has a cut off. He has a sleeveless hoodie
Yep.
with a bow tie.
Because I care
about
about decorum, damn it. Okay.
He puts on his hoodie when he's mad and storms out of the room with his clipboard.
the Cody Rhodes walk.
Why I oughta? Oh man, I mean, do you go hurt business? I mean, I'd say you go NWO, but then you have to be like one of the core. I mean, if I can join NWO and go back in time and kick out Hogan, I think we could do something there. Like Scott, brother, let me tell you, this dude isn't what you think he is, bruh. Do one of them.
Just go back in time.
Just go back in time, right? Oh my god.
I've been watching or not watching, but I was listening to some stuff about like the 98 Halloween Havoc. Let's join the One Warrior Nation. But then kick out the Ultimate Warrior, and then we start our own One Warrior Nation.
I'd probably say
it's NWO backwards.
And I don't know, Nation, because the song in Nation was Nation, a domination. Like this song goes hard, bruh. Probably like Nation or Hurt Business. Being Hurt Business long enough to actually be in front of fans.
Let me join Damage Control.
You're on to something. You're on to something.
Respectfully.
Yes, of course. Or maybe Bullet, Bullet Cast, Bullet Club. I mean, yeah, there we go. Sure. When it was hot, like when, like that, like AJ Styles to, like, if I could be in there from like AJ Styles to the Elite creating AEW, if I could be in there for that time period, there we go. Boom. That's it. That's the era I'd want to be in, running around with that. Robert Walker, was LA Knight hurt by the loss to Roman? I don't think he was hurt. I think he's just in the same spot.
Yeah. He doesn't really need to build up his momentum.
Well, no, because I mean, you think about it, like Sammy, Cody, Jay, KO, all elevated by losses to Roman Reigns. He's just in the same spot.
I mean, I feel like I've kind of said this kind of repeatedly the last couple weeks, but
then stop repeating it.
Just because you lose doesn't mean like you're affected by it. Like, I mean, if you lose, like, yes, it does affect you, but it's not the end of the world if you lose to Roman Reigns, the greatest the greatest champion in whatever 35, 40 years.
Yes.
I feel like it set him up for the Royal Rumble, maybe a Royal Rumble win.
Yeah. All right, and Brett is the X, the Hall of Famer.
Mr. X, who day?
So who do you think is the devil in AEW? Is it CM Punk, Adam Cole, Jungle Boy? Who, damn it? That devil's mask needs to come off this at Full Gear. Brandon, if the devil shows up, I need you to have your phone out to get live footage and send it to me.
I'm gonna be on Facebook Live, like like those parents at the parties, just having a good time.
Facebook Live with a giant tablet, like these people we see at indie shows around the Bay.
Yep. But yeah, I agree with you. I fully expect the devil to be unmask or unveil at Full Gear. Now, who is it? I mean, as much as I would love for it to be CM Punk, I don't think it will be. Like, he's been trolling on his Instagram stories of like putting like those old vignettes of him like in the devil get up from like whatever Hell in a Cell or something.
We didn't talk about it. We went to AEW.
We did go to AEW, and I just absolutely destroyed my pants.
Brandon destroyed his pants. I fell asleep.
I'm pretty sure these kids, infiltrated our suite. Shout out Baby Huey. Shout out to the random listener to 107.7 The Bone.
Yes, Mike Miller was there. Shout out Mike Miller. Always a great
I
time.
met him for the first time in person after 5 times.
For the first time in like the 7 times you've actually met him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon murdered his pants.
I got 2 new pairs of pants on Saturday. I went to the Levi's store because I thought it was athletic and try to jump over the rows of seats instead of just walking in front of Phillip, and just blew out the crotch of my pants. So that was fun.
Oh, wow.
He murdered his pants. AEW murdered my sleep schedule. I had to rearrange it because I fell asleep at the show.
Shout out my security guard Aaron. Saw him working at the Oakland Arena.
Yes,
shout out to all the Sell shirts out there. Sell the team, Fisher. You bum.
Yeah. Shout out Powerhouse for being in attendance and doing his thing. Shout out Titus Alexander was there. Titus is in Japan for Pro Wrestling Noah. Shout out Titus Alexander, man. I'm happy for that dude. Who else? Johnny Robbie and Brooke Havoc were extras for Ring of Honor. That's the most Ring of Honor I've seen in like 5 years. Yeah, good stuff. Went to the Nigel McGuinness Magic show that was here last week. That was something.
I heard about that. I didn't realize it was a actual magic show.
Yeah, no, he's a Loki and op.
Did he cut anybody in half?
No, but he was like, bro, how do you know that? Like, what's going on? Yeah, some AEW talent was there. It was cool. Saw Thunder Rosa, got to chop it up, asked her some advice about this crazy world that is professional wrestling. It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Back to Ms. Drex's questions about who's under the devil mask. I think
yes,
Adam Cole
yes.
I think Adam Cole is a good one.
Britt Baker.
Maybe Kyle O'Reilly. And then after that, I honestly don't know because
it's Britt Baker.
Isn't Adam Cole injured though?
It's all the work. It's all the work.
He was never injured to begin with. But I did see a report that the people literally in the masks are the people that's going to be revealed as. So,
what
if the person behind the devil mask is the one signing the contract on Saturday?
See, this is why Marlee is here. This is why. No, seriously. Yeah, so apparently they got somebody that's gonna another member to the roster,
and it's not Ibushi because Ibushi got signed or whatever today.
Who just got Edge? Like, what do you do? Why are you
right?
All these people?
Who else do you need,
bro? You don't have
money.
You have too much time. Please, I hope
money.
I need her to be in the Royal Rumble. Real talk. You have all these people. Why do you keep signing people? You have to let people go.
Right. Isn't there like a limit on employment? Like outside of wrestling, just employment in general, there's like a limit of how many employees you could have.
I mean,
but Tony Khan just keeps.
No, Tony Khan ignores the salary cap. He doesn't.
How many people work in AEW? How many wrestlers do they have under contract? I want to know. Let's see.
Are we including Ring of Honor in that since he bought Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Over under 135.5.
Let's see.
Also, he announced, which was weird because we were at the Collision taping, which we did not see this. He announced they're doing a G1 style round robin tournament called the Continental Classic.
What?
It's going to be 12 wrestlers, round robin style, culminating at the World's End pay-per-view December 30th. And Bryan Danielson, the man who has a broken orbital bone and set to wrestle Kazuchika Okada, is apparently going to wrestle in this match and wrestle several times, and I assume will probably make it to the end, if not win the whole damn thing. So you are possibly putting Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson at injury risk to have this tournament that who knows if it's going to be anything.
All right, so what's the number, Brandon? What's the number?
I set the line at 135.5.
Marlee.
Over under that. I feel like I'm way over, so I'm going to go under.
I'm going to say 150.
200.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible handicapper.
I mean, bro, let's really think about this. Like,
that's too many.
Okay. So hold on. Let's see other roles. So let me go to other roles.
Yeah, are you counting like all the announcers, all the producers, all the?
Yeah, because I counted just wrestlers. I was thinking 150 wrestlers,
Okay,
and
so hold on.
the
If
rest of the
I minus some of these people, I mean, Paige Van, she wrestled for them. She's still under contract, so you have to count her.
She wrestled one time. We haven't seen her since Double or Nothing last year.
I'm saying she still wrestled for them, so you have to count her.
I
wrestled.
mean, do you count Tyson Fury as a WWE wrestler? He wrestled
He's not
recently.
under contract though. Paige Van Zandt is still under contract with AEW.
Is she still in the contract? I need to see that contract.
So here, what? 1, 2. Let me do some math real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All right. So let's do this. This is the actual number. So 167.
Yeah, 150. Close-ish.
Actually, no. Okay, so like 165. I see two other names here that I didn't see before. So okay, so yeah, like 165. That's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
Why? That doesn't need to happen.
It's like, why do you have all of these people?
Yeah. He says it's a good idea for Oscar to join Damage Control. Who will be the fourth woman to join Charlotte, Shotzi, and Bianca? I don't who can join them. Like it's who's on SmackDown.
Jay's
Well, it
not
is
doing
Survivor. I
anything.
mean, it is Survivor Series. You could get Becky to jump ship for one night only because she does have issues with Damage Control always.
Bro, what's up? What about where's Alba Fire at? Where's she at?
Well, isn't like, well, the tag titles are cursed. Is one of them hurt or something?
I was gonna say they lost the tag titles and just disappeared.
I forgot they even had the title. I forgot they even had them.
I mean, come on, they beat Ronda and Shayna for them, right?
When I think about these tag titles now, I just see Piper, Niven, Duggan. Yeah,
All right.
not Duggan. I mean Anvil. Anvil, yeah, because she looked like Jim Anvil in that Halloween gimmick. Moving on from all that, how do you feel about the scenarios that happen all too often in AEW where they set up a big world title match, but in between the match, other people somehow wind up with world title matches? I really do not like this. I think it distracts from the storyline they initially set up and kind of waters down the importance of it. What are your thoughts? Yeah, but look, if they're gonna do this, have somebody else actually like Daniel Garcia. F it, just put the world title on him. Change it up. Because we know MJF's going to go face Jay White. We know this. Throw a curveball at me, Tony.
Yeah, I remember
that
he would
is-
throw curveballs in the beginning. Sorry. He
No, I
would
was just
throw,
gonna whatever. It's fine.
yeah.
I'm just gonna shut up. I'm gonna mute myself this time, Phillip.
I was gonna say he would throw curveballs like a lot in the beginning of AEW, but then like once Tony Khan was trying so hard to get that Warner deal, the curveballs kind of stopped. And it almost turning into shot for shot remake of WWE where you need the main guy with a super long title reign for no reason whatsoever. But it's the same, they give you the same thing every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the matchmaking is like very predictable, except for like the rare instances we get like those main events, and then on the pay-per-views as well. So Tony has kind of gotten to a rut of like, if you look at the Dynamite lineups, you could be like, okay, or like even obviously like the Rampage and Collisions, you're like, okay, yeah, that person, they're gonna win. There's like no doubt in my mind that's gonna win. Maybe there's a screwy finish or something, but for the most part, you kind of know what's gonna happen. And predictability isn't bad in wrestling, but if you just kind of do it over and over and over again, and if you're, predictability is good at wrestling if it's what the fans want. And at this point, I mean, we're seeing AEW. It's not exactly on the higher end of fan interest at the moment.
When your predictability becomes predictable.
Oh, predictable. All right. Did Drew McIntyre turn heel on Raw, guys?
I mean, I thought that was as.
I mean, they can justify it as he still has problems with Jey Uso because, he cost me an opportunity, blah, 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 cost me the title, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty vague, but I think they're planting seeds towards heel Drew.
Yeah, and look, if Drew joins Team Judgment Day for the War Games, they cannot say they have a mystery tag partner because everyone will think it is CM Punk. They need to just let us know who it will be.
Randy Orton.
No, you save that pop. This is what you do. You say it's somebody else on the roster. They get hurt right before the War Games. Cody found somebody else, blah, 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 blah. It's Randy Orton. You do something like that. I don't know.
I completely agree with the CM Punk part of if you're going to have a mystery opponent, you cannot have that a mystery going into the show because the Chicago crowd will chant CM Punk. And if it's not, they might take over. In this new WWE, this new era of WWE fans, we don't know what a disgruntled Chicago crowd is going to sound like, but I would assume they probably won't be happy. So if it is Randy Orton, maybe either outright announce it, outright, hint at it of a cheeky little legacy line or something from Cody just to kind of be we're not going to announce it, but it's going to be Randy Orton. Or
it turns out to be Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah, or it's Ted. Well, he's got some bigger issues right now with the Mississippi welfare fund, but that's
Yeah.
when you talk about that.
I think he's a little occupied at the moment.
What's DiBiase Sr. doing? He took a bump at NXT a couple years ago. He still got it.
I think him and his son are kind of, in the same boat as Brett Favre right now.
I'm not going to lie. DiBiase Sr., one of my favorite guests I've had on the show. Great guy. Besides the stuff that's happening, fantastic. Did he come up with these rubs he was talking about? These rubs for these ribs?
If I type in Ted DiBiase rub, I don't know I'll be very scared what's going to come out.
I mean, he's a Southern man. I feel like these would tenderize some meat. Pause. Yeah, all right. This is a Judgment Day heavy show. You got Uso and Rhodes trying to take back the titles from Finn and Damien. You got the world champion Rollins and Sami Zayn going up against McDonough and Dom Dom. I mean, this was a lot. Rhea Ripley with Zoe Stark. It's just a lot was going on. A lot was going on.
There was too much happening.
Yes, a lot. Other than what Miz and Bronson Reed, that was going on. What do you guys feel about Imperium, huh? Gunther praising Giovanni Vinci, but chastising Ludwig Kaiser.
They're setting up for Gunther versus Ludwig Kaiser. I just know it.
You know what? I popped when Jinder Mahal showed up on the screen. Marlee, you don't know this? When Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion,
Phillip was his one fan.
I was
his one fan.
No,
not number one fan. His one fan.
No. Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Look, because did you go to the House of Horrors match? Did you go to that? Marlee, it was Payback 2017.
No, I did not. But I went to a SmackDown. When Jinder was WWE champion. He was still feuding with Randy.
I'm gonna let you know. It was Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, RIP.
God rest his soul.
Yes, House of Horrors match was something. But when that boy Jinder Mahal, because he had stole the WWE title from Randy, when he showed up, that crowd was cheering. People loved Jinder, and then when he won it, they turned on him like, "Nah, you all know what I know. You can't hinder the Jinder." Look, if there was anybody that could beat Roman Reigns, it's the modern day Maharaja. Or you know what? He's interacting with Imperium now. I'd be okay if he took the title off of Gunther. I said it.
Well, I haven't heard any recent news that WWE is planning to go to some giant cricket stadium in India anytime soon, so I have to wait on that one.
What do you mean? Bro, they went to that They went to that. The people are like, "Oh, he's the champion because they're gonna go to India and do a big show." They went to do that show in India. He wasn't the champion, and he lost to Triple H. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything. Put the title on Jinder Mahal. I love Jinder. Let's do it. I love it. I'm impressed. But yeah, this is a lot of Judgment Day stuff on Raw.
More than usual.
More than usual. Let's say Phillip 3 hours, baby. Say Phillip 3 hours, baby. NXT was cool, you know. Baron Corbin getting a shot at the NXT title. Put the title on him. Just do it. Just do it. Ilya's great in the chase. We saw with Carmelo. He's fantastic in the chase. His title reign could all come crashing down because of some end of days. Yeah. And then you have him chase Corbin until I'd say do it until Stand and Deliver. I'd say do it until April.
Yeah,
Give Corbin a nice little couple month run. Yeah. Why not?
can redeem his failed cash in. I don't think he ever recovered from that.
Yeah. I mean, he did. He retired Kurt Angle.
Yeah, he still didn't retire or recover from that failed cash in.
Does anybody really recover from a failed cash in? Damian
John
Sandow.
Cena?
Nope. Sandow didn't. John. I mean, it was John Cena. He was already established. He was already
True.
Otis hasn't recovered from losing the thing.
And who did Baron Corbin try to cash in on?
John
Jinder
Cena.
Mahal.
Oh, I thought it was John Cena.
No, it all comes back around. He was feuding with Cena, but Jinder was the champion.
Oh, yeah, because Cena was like ringside or something. I just remember Cena being there during that match.
It all comes back around. It all comes back around. AEW Full Gears this weekend. Marlee, your title's not on the line.
Why not?
Because it doesn't always happen when I'm the champion. I'm just doing this to prove a point.
I was like, it's not on the line. I was willing to defend.
Well, what?
I was up and ready.
What a great champion.
I'm not feeling this.
Well, you know what? I don't care then. I'll cash in my bullet cast big right now. Me and Marlee will just go at it.
All right.
Do it.
Do you really
There
want
we
to do
go.
that?
Bam. I'll be in attendance, have a little extra,
He'll have an
emphasis
advantage.
on me. Bam. So, let's go. Let's run down this Full Gear show.
Save the thing. Don't do it now.
Now we're gonna have to wait and see. See, this is what happens.
Yeah.
See, the higher ups are holding me down.
See, I would give him the opportunity to cash in because I might not have the same luck that I did with Crown Jewel. That was luck.
I mean, I was the AEW guy for the longest time on this show. He was the NXT guy.
And New Japan.
New Japan coming back. We out.
February?
Yeah, you never know who's going to be performing.
Pepsi Phil?
That's a possibility. So, do you actually want to cash in or what? Do you want to save it?
I'll cash in. Let's let it ride.
Now I got to write down the predictions. Oh,
yeah.
You gotta make it fun.
Yeah.
Gotta make it fun.
Oh, I
There's
got
so many
write down
stipulations.
And besides, I'm tired of you yelling at me about how I'm never going to cash it in. And I just assumed, we were going to give their predictions or whatever. And, the title was going to be on the line. Because, when I was champion, felt like we were defending against everything, AEW, WWE, NXT, West Coast pro shows, like everything under the sun. I was having to defend it.
I defended it at other stuff too. I won it on an Impact pay-per-view. Think about that.
Exactly. We're not doing it on one of the 4 major AEW pay-per-views.
Want to do it for Whiplash? Or is that allowed? Can you do 2?
We've done when NXT takeovers would be like the day before a WWE pay-per-view. We used to go like back-to-back days. So somebody would win it, have it for a day, then lose it. Those are good times. All right, guys. It is just Marlee and Brandon.
Yeah. Phillip, you don't need to worry about this.
Podcast championship. So, MJF and TBA versus the Guns for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Marlee.
The Guns.
All right.
Depends. I say the Guns because We just don't know who MJF's partner is. And it's like one of those things where if he's got a good partner, it could MJF could retain, but if he's got a crappy partner, we just automatically know that the Guns are gonna just snatch him up.
Or if he has a good partner, they just turn on him and want the AEW title.
Fair enough, because he's gotta fight twice unnecessarily.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, I hope he's paying him well. Brandon.
I mean, I was leading the Guns as well, but to be different, I will take MJF and TBD. They haven't taken the title off him yet. I would assume they're going to wait to do something with Cole, whether that is if he's the devil or whatnot. So
You're a devil.
I guess Phillip, they were playing the Doja Cat AEW women's video. They played it twice for some reason. Phillip has just learned the Doja Cat sound, Paint the Town Red, for the first time. So
I mean, I think it kind of slapped.
it's only been out for like 6 months at this point, or however long it's been out.
He's so lucky because it's been all over my TikTok. I'm just now getting to a point of peace until Tony Khan released that video.
I mean, the video is great. The video is cool.
It is.
You're a devil. I'm throwing them my Vandross set. I'm gonna sing it with the Vandross voice. I need to get the
Doja Vandross.
I need to get the runs, you know. I need to sing. Should I sing like Skinny Luther or Big Luther? Big Luther, huh?
Speaking of Luther, he will be accompanying Timeless Tony Storm. There we go.
See, you have good moments. You have good moments.
Blind squirrel nut, you know.
This is why he's cashing in.
Yes, Timeless Tony Storm versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title. Brandon.
This one also could go either way. Hikaru Shida is like the me of AEW Women's Champions, where she just kind of wins it and then like immediately loses it. I think it depends on what they're doing. I got some
place to be, so you just gotta pick somebody, bro.
Mariah May will get involved, and Timeless Tony Storm's the champion.
It's Tony time. Marlee.
I don't know. I agree that it could go either way, but
you have somewhere to be, so just pick somebody.
Hey, whoa, wait.
Oh, sorry. I was just, doing your gimmick for you, Phillip.
I was gonna say Sheeta because I could see Mariah May intervening, but it could have the opposite effect where she costs Tony the match, and it leads to planting seeds for their kind of Mickey Trish era feud.
Which makes too much sense, which is why she's going to be the champion.
Exactly.
So who are you picking?
Sheeta.
She's going Sheeta. I'm going with Tony.
My phone is.
Then we got the 6-man tag match: Sting, Darby.
Don't steal.
Okay.
What are you?
Okay.
Doing?
Okay.
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
I do the pay-per-view recaps, not the pay-per-view previews.
Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. This is
not the government name.
Yeah.
Ric Flair brought to you by Ric Flair, or brought to you by Woo Energy.
Woo!
That should always be like just in his tag. Just be like Ric Flair brought to you by Woo Energy.
Makes you want to go, woo!
I hope these maybe they're selling out the form, and I'll try one. It's gonna taste like.
Oh my God! I'm doing a Ric Flair. Shut up! My Gators cost more than your house.
That's great, Ric Flair.
Perfect.
I mean, you just have to yell, bro.
With a little twang.
Just yell and raise your blood pressure. It's fine.
And then strut around and elbow drop your jacket and just be in the ring in your boxers.
Yep.
If I ever do that at a show, guys, just know I'm paying homage to the GOAT. Or I might have lost my mind. Anyway, crazy 6-man. Who do we got? Marlee, who do you got?
Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. It's too early for the good guys to win.
Well, Sting and Darby are like undefeated as a tag team, so I'm going to say they're going to keep that streak because Nick Wayne's in the match, so he'll just eat the pin like he always does.
Didn't we see him win when we were there?
He did. I forget who he wrestled. It was an okay match.
John Moxley and Orange Cassidy for All Atlantic or international title. This title has like 5 different names.
Yeah. I say Cassidy retains. I don't think Moxley needs this title. The story is more kind of Cassidy regain or whatever. Story's more about Cassidy than Moxley, I think.
Marlee.
Moxley. He's gonna pull an upset. I just feel it.
All right.
That's gonna be the sneaky match.
Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana, Texas Death Match. Wow.
I mean, the man taunted the other man's toddler, so you think Hangman should win. But it is a Texas death match, and something can happen. I'll go with Swerve.
Swerve, okay. So you're
going to keep it rolling.
And the one time that I'm actually behind Hangman Adam Page, the one rare time.
You're picking Hangman? All right, the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks. See, they had an opportunity to go with Kenny and the Jets, play off of Benny and the Jets. Kenny and the Jet. Kenny and the Jet. But no, you see, this is why I need to be in the writer's room. This is gold. Gold every time.
Why Phillip needs to be the assistant to the assistant.
I just need to be the main guy. This is, I mean, come on, man.
I'll go with Kenny and Jericho. They have the stipulation that if they win, the Young Bucks forfeit their title opportunity. So I think Jets win, and that kind of derails the Young Bucks into full-fledged heels.
Again. All right, Marlee.
I was going to say the exact same thing, Golden Jets, because Young Bucks, they've done it. We've seen it. Switch it up.
And the words of Chris Jericho.
Didn't even hear what you said because you just modulated so much.
Right. You just glitched.
Now you just yelled too much to the microphone, didn't even pick it up. I believe he was trying to say, oh yeah, but in a Chris Jericho voice.
Was that better?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Statlander, Sky Blue, Julia Hart. See, I would pick Julia Hart. That's just me.
I believe she's getting married, so I think she might be getting Julia Hart.
She already got married.
Or
yeah,
maybe
they've had the honeymoon and everything.
I don't know.
Because I was going to pick Julia.
I'll pick Chris Statlander. I think Hart and Sky Blue is going to cancel each other out. Even though Chris isn't really do anything.
Isn't Sky associated with the House of Black too? She's got the eye thing going. So
she had the mist spit at her, so changed her mood. Remember the mist changes you.
Seeds are planted in that match. I can tell.
So who are you going for?
Julia Hart.
I think, man. I think this is the way to go. All right. It's
crazy. Way too many people in a tag team match.
When did House of Black change their name?
That's just Malachi and Brody. I think it's House of Black when it's all of them.
Okay. All right. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Faction, Igor Bernabele, Russian Dralistico versus FTR versus Kings of the Black Throne for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Man, I'm gonna just throw this out there. I think that House of Black has, they have the tag titles, they have the TBS title. I think it'd be something nice. Hell, have Orange Cassidy wrestle Buddy Matthews. He takes the international title. Just do it.
That right there is why I picked Julia Hart, because they already have the trios titles.
So who are you going with these?
Rush and Dralistico.
Are you going with the La Faction?
I'm going with the La Faction.
I was kind of going to go down that route as well. We've had so many change-ups, or picking the opposite ones. I'll stick with the champions. Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
Got to see Ricky Starks. I got to see Ricky Starks at a Collision taping. Great guy. By great guy, I mean he was a fantastic match. He was over like Rover. All right, for the AEW World Championship, Jay White, the leader of Bullet Club Gold, can he finally win the big one in AEW? Or does MJF win and finally get his hands back on the Triple B?
I expect this match to be really good in ring wise. As I said, if it was my call, I would just have Jay White be the champion and start clean because this MJF stuff is not for me. But the whole story is him getting his title back, so he will get the title back, and the devil will come out, and we'll get like a big angle at the end because that's what AEW does.
So Maxwell,
yes, sir. And he has to hold around that title for all the red carpet events for the Iron Claw.
Yeah, of course.
You make a good point with the Iron Claw stuff, but I'm probably gonna go with Jay White because I feel like MJF has done all he's needed to do with the title, and if he goes any further, it would be repetitive.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't need the title for the red carpet. I mean, Snack Wars just aired a video with Paige or Saraya as the AEW Women's Champion. I'm like, oh, she hasn't had that title in a little bit, guys. Yeah.
So we've had 9 matches, and I believe we differentiated on 8 of them. So this should be interesting.
It should. All right. I think that is going to do it for us.
Which means we'll just end up going 4-4-1, and Marlee will just retain.
Yeah. All right. Also, West Coast Pro Whiplash this Friday, November 17th, United Irish Cultural Center. Look, you got Kevin Blackwood versus Jaya Jules, Sandra Moon versus Rachel Ellering for number 1 contention for the West Coast Pro Women's title. You got Drake Dillinger versus the mystery opponent because JT Thorne is unable to compete. Beef Tank versus Prisoners of Society. You also have Los Suavecitos going up against my boys, the South Pacific Savages. Alphazo versus Brian Keith. Masha Slamovich versus Johnny Robbie. Starboy Charlie defends his West Coast Pro title against Chris Bay. And returning to the ring for the first time in 3 years, Chris Hero takes on Timothy Thatcher. Yes.
Hell of a card. Sounds like fun. Hopefully everyone goes out there, has fun. Random Brandon trivia. My favorite Metallica song is Whiplash. So there you go.
Wow, there you go.
I was gonna say it's their last show of 2023 too.
No, it's the last show out here.
Oh, well, last SF show of 2023.
Last base show for West Coast Pro. They're in LA for next month, and they have Kenta. Yeah. And then Pro Wrestling Revolver is going on. If you're down in LA, go watch that. Ronda Rousey, John Moxley, Swerve, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Brian Keith. Craziness.
I believe that would be Thursday, which is today. Everybody go out and go now.
Yes. All right, thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous.
The Bullet Cast, fearless. The Bullet Cast, fearless. Elite podcasting, we on. The Bullet Cast now, fearless. The Bullet Cast now, fearless. Elite podcasting, no we on. Elite podcasting, no we on.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.